It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. And it's coming up next.
It can hold over 82,000 fans, and every one of those seats is filled for this one, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Here's Graham Gano out for the opening kick. And we're off from MetLife. Here's Parker Washington with the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out to former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 32. That is caught by Brian Thomas Jr. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Second and 3 now. From the 39. Got him in. It's Thomas. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. That's good for 7 yards. And that's a Jaguar first down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Able to find Strange here. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 23. Throwing the out route complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Etienne will not score, and it's not going to get back to the line either. I think he lost close to 3 on that play.
Good defensive tackles in this league, Kate. They can take up a couple blockers. Great defensive tackles, well, they stuff the stat sheet just like that, knocking that run backwards before it could get started.
Backed up to the 4-yard line now. It's 2nd and goal. It's a design boot. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Play didn't break how they wanted it, and he throws this away.
I'll tell you this, Kate, that's we got to be on the same page with one another and get both ends of the play right to execute, both the protection and ultimately completing that ball. They certainly want that play called back.
Cam Little now to try the Jags field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Shudak is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Starting from the 5. Good looking return here, and he's got room. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. So the Giants out and getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller, already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
Simply put, there's not a throw on the field he's not capable of making. His arm can reach every blade of grass, which as a defender is an absolute pain to have to worry about down in and down out. And as an offense, it energizes you for the possibility of a big play at any time.
Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. He's got a gain of 6 there. Tackled there by Jordan Lewis.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 41. That pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
Man in motion here. Play action on 1st down. That's complete to Darius Slayton. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. Second and 3 now. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. And no chance at a return as this one heads across the sideline at the 25-yard line. Second drive of the game upcoming for this Jaguar offense. They've got an early 3-0 lead as they take over here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
On second down, it's ETN. And it's a 3-yard gain through the traffic. Brian Burns coming up with the stop.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
Here's ETN on first down. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go. ETN again. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
His goal is pretty clear, Kate. Crash forward and then crash inside. Set that edge, but if you can come inside and bury that runner before it gets started, all the better.
5 men in the secondary for the G-men now, ahead of 3rd down. Lawrence now off the play action. And this one is dropped and incomplete. He had the pick in his hands, couldn't hang on. It's going to be 4th down.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. Got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Throwing from the gun. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right. He's got it deep downfield. Along the right sideline, there's space. Touchdown, New York! The Giants pull ahead 6-3 in the first. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants take a 4-point lead. Gano ready to send this away. Return coming from the 6. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. This, our last play of the quarter. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And he manages to get back to the line, but no further, as we're at the end of 1. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. 7-3 is our score. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. Back for the second quarter. It's Jaguar football. They start out 2nd and 10. They go right back to ETN. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Javon Holland there to make the stop. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
That sure ended up being worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
They'll send Logan Cook out again for the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Went for 48 with his first kick, and this one looks even better. Calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 34-yard line. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And it'll be Giants football. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Finds his target, Robinson. Gets it to the 15. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball into your hands, number one. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the pressure drives them backwards.
1st and goal from the 1. From the 1. I don't mind throwing it, but that's the one thing you can't have happen. Defensively, you know they're going to bring it. And now, well, they're more than content backing this offense up with the sack.
Backed up to the 8 here. It's 2nd and goal. Looking for a throw here. This throw is caught. He has the New York touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants drive their lead to 11. Gano ready to send this away. Washington now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And they find themselves trailing by 11 as they take over down 14-3. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. Connection made. Travis Etienne. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Devon Holland there to make the stop.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break off something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
Throwing is Lawrence on 3rd down. Finds a man right side. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Now a give to ETN running right. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's brought down for a loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. A give up the gut to Bigsby. He's got room to roam here. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars make it a 1-score game in the 1st half. So great work by the running back there, Brock. Found just a little bit of space, and he took advantage all the way for 6.
Big time. I mean, so big time. You know, and you hear running back coaches, Kate, say this. They'll say slow to explode through. And he explodes all the way for the touchdown.
Cam Little to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars cut the lead down to 4. We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. He fields it from the 8. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. A give to Tracy up the middle. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule, but you're going to have to pick up the pace.
Eight yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 27. Gets this to Slayton. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down. Dropping back to throw. Big catch is made, and he got the feet in too. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10 from the 41. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. This is ahead for about 5. Tyson Campbell, the man on that tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Putting a receiver in motion. Here's 2nd and 5. He's on the move. He tucks it and takes off. And he's taken down after gaining a couple. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Jaguars with an extra defensive back out there, 3rd down. Now looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the 1st down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
Able to hit Robinson, complete. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Catch is made in close. Touchdown, New York! So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants drive their lead to 11. Gano ready to send this away. Washington now to return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Lawrence to throw it. Completed over the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He'll get this one to Brown. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. From the 47. He gets this one to Strange. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's Thomas, he's got it. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. So now they have 3rd and short. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
Now a timeout called by the Jaguars. That's their 3rd. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Lawrence working from the gun. And that one's incomplete, but boy, are they lucky it wasn't intercepted. That was a risky shot, but fortunately, they still have 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
He'll throw it yet again. Oh, we put way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Throwing now from the gun. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Cam Little getting the call on 4th down here to put 3 up for the Jaguars. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. The kick by Shudak is good. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half. That's going to bring us to the end of this first half of football with the Giants holding things down in East Rutherford. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. With that, the two squads are headed out of the tunnel. So let's get you back out to Kay Scott and Brock Eward.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. This return makes it up to the 25. The Giants ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Like a good target, Brock. Neighbors is there. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. On the handoff, this is Tracy.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Here's Tracy once more. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
1st and 10 from the 41. They're throwing it. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Has his man, it's Tracy. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core, football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the 1st.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. First down, and they go right back to him. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 37. Flush down out to his left. He can run it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. They'll try and throw it here. Cut near the goal line. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Just how many times do we see teams go to this route? You can go to a Little League field and tell them to, hey, run to the post. It's a playbook staple. And he's someone you could depend on to create space and make catches out of it.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he will score. It's a New York Touchdown! The Giants grow the lead coming out of halftime. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also...
So we've got a stoppage now. Figured this might be coming. We're going to take another look to see if this was indeed a touchdown. Well, this right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again, unlike these officials who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
So the celebration can resume on that sideline. The touchdown stands. Gano ends the point after. And the Giants lead by 15 now. Gano ready to send this away. Washington now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Javon Holland there to make the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Now give this up the middle to Etienne. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field.
Lawrence now off the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through, and that's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
There was a theory some years ago, Kate, that you would never run play action on 3rd and extra long like this because that play action is really not going to affect the defense. But what you got to understand is many times you're running that play action because of the great protection. You're actually trying to give that quarterback an extra beat. Well, it didn't work out that time.
Jacksonville in punt formation. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. The Giants offense all set to get started. And you can see in these clips quite an extensive highlight reel he's put together in what is a 4-touchdown game for him already.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this guy's in the zone. I know in hoops, sometimes shooters say that hoop looks and that basket looks enormous, right? I know on a golf course, you're thinking, man, everything is a birdie. For this guy today, 4 touchdowns on the ledger, he's made it look easy.
Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Tackled there by Jordan Lewis. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
2nd and 4. Connects with Slayton. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down. A handoff to Tracy. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
He finds Slayton. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They go play action here. Brought in right side. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Finds a man right side.
You know, Kate, it's almost as if the defense invited him to make that throw. That was a play they knew they could defend, and they stopped it right at the line.
And it's a nickel set from the Jags on this 3rd down. Throwing from the gun here. Chased out to his right. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. It's no good. It had the leg, but his aim wide right. And they can't add 3 to their lead of 15.
While they're still in great shape to win this game, Kate, don't tell the kicker that. You know he's bummed with every miss. But with that miss, still 2-touchdown game, and 1 more stop here can very much end things.
Out now runs the Jaguars offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Here's Etienne on 1st down. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, once we saw them on a collision course with one another, we know how inertia works. The bigger man, he wins.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Lawrence looking to throw. Setting up the running back screen. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Hits him on the out route. They'll touch him down a couple of yards away from that marker.
As quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And they take him down right along the 30. This one goes for 3 yards. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
You know what I like about a second and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete. It was there, he just couldn't corral it. So 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
Here's ETN. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that 1st down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Out of the gun, Lawrence. On the move, headed right. He's running for it. And he scores. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars can make it a 1-score game as they trim the lead. Trevor Lawrence with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
That one splits the uprights. And the Jaguars get it back to within 1 score. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Gray now on the return. Pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Giants headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Running this with Tracy. And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Short side option here. He's running left. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession, or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Trying the right side with Tracy. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Give him 4 on the play. Doesn't help a ton because they're still left with 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way.
Well, we have seen the value of a big physical tight end, just like that. The great tight ends, the physical tight ends, it's almost as if they're posting up on the low block in basketball, and you can't get around them.
Gets this to Slayton. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw it with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one does not go far.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Giants leading by 8. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. He'll throw it. It's caught at the 4. And he's out of bounds at the 4. Oh, he was thinking touchdown there. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
A touchdown would put this one to bed. A few shots at it here, starting with 1st and goal. Tracy is in for the New York touchdown. The Giants go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants lead by 15 now. Gano ready to send this away. Has this at the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. First and 10, it's Lawrence. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Lawrence working from the gun. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down. Throwing now. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Now to throw. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the fourth. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. They go right back to Tracy. And he's able to drive them forward into the red zone. A timeout taken by Jacksonville. It's second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Third and just 2 to go. Trying to get it with the option. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. The defense takes its third and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. With the win in hand, they'll take the knee and let this clock run out.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Lining up to take a knee on second down. The Giants take a knee here, running out the final seconds to their victory.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Setting up for the kneel down on third. So here at MetLife, it's the G-Men who come away with the win. They did their part, Brock, defending the home field, using that advantage to secure the victory. We know home field advantage is a real thing. And the crowd, they did their part too, adding to just an awesome atmosphere, helping energize those players at big moments of today's ball game.
Yeah, it is super fun to win on the road. I'm not going to lie, to quiet the crowd. But you know what's even better? When you get to celebrate with your family, your friends, your hometown people, your community, and you know, more importantly, they played a role as that extra voice in that building, man. It is a rewarding feeling.